have one question I know that's hanging out there as far as from this one team in our division right now, and let's cover this question right here and now in tracking the NFC West. Okay, we're looking at the Niners. You're looking at me, looking at the Niners. I'm looking at you, looking at the Niners, looking at them. And we're all going, how are they pulling this off? How are they making all this happen? How are they clearing all of this money? How are they able to pay for everyone? And this is a very good question. Brandon Aiyuk is now back in the fold. Trent Williams, after yesterday, back in the fold. We do not yet know the details of the Trent Williams situation. So we got to put that one a little bit on the back burner when we look at this and try to kind of understand conceptually what it is the Niners are doing right now and how they're pulling this off. Let's look at the salary cap for the San Francisco 49ers for the 2024 season as we are right now. Now, bottom of the list I want to start you off with here. Look to the bottom right-hand corner. You see suspended Trent Williams. $10,756,000. That's the dead money he would account for essentially if he's not active. This is why I say this is before we have the update. This is before we actually have the update for these new numbers yet that will add to this season's contract. Now, they've already bonused base to bonus Deebo Samuel in recent days, and I think they just did somebody else, by the way. So you can notice on this, look at the base salaries running down the line here from the Niners. First on the left-hand column under base salary, look at all of those $1.125 million deals. That's base salary. That's the bare minimum for a veteran that you can pay in base salary, and you can see that rolling down the line. And Deebo added in with this on this. So this is where they first and foremost are creating their cap space by everything going to bonus, everything going to guarantees, everything going to void years. Void years. Remember this part of the process as I speak to it. So technically right now, over the cap here, when I show you here is their cap space. They're sitting at the head of the stack with $65 million in cap space. But this is before the Trent Williams deal is clicked in first. And understand, they're maximizing everything to right now. Everything to right now for this load of cap space that can eventually be rolled into next year's cap that's unused. But they are doing that at the cost of the long term. Let me show you what I mean by that. When we go into the cap, this is 2024 cap. This is minus the Trent Williams deal, of course. Now, when we go to 2025, this is where the old Trent Williams deal is still on the books here for them. But you can see that when you look to the far right-hand column here, that's your post June 1st. So that's if you designated a guy that like Russell was done with the Broncos, where you designate him a post June 1st, you split the dead money into 2 years, and that maximizes the savings for that upcoming year. But then you, of course, push the books onto the next, you push half of the dead money into the next year's books when you do that. What stands out here with the Niners, when you look at 2025, if you guys will notice with this, is that there is not a lot of guys here as you go down that right-hand column there to where even if you make them a post June 1st designation, you can save a significant amount of money. So flexibility, a lack of flexibility here as they go into the future, locking themselves in the way. Now they've got the roster, they got them set, but a couple injuries happen. They don't have necessarily the pivot point to move in this direction, because when you do go back to that situation that does show them with the cap space right now at $65 million, I'll highlight it right here, $65 million at the top. When we go to 2025, there are third from the bottom when we go there. So if I go all the way to the bottom here, you can see them with only the Browns and Saints below them, where they're sitting at negative $38 million right now. And this is before the new Trent Williams money has hit the books for them. So while the 65's there on the top, what I would say is that with Trent Williams deal, it's probably going to be something like 50. There's the 50 million negative on the other side of it that's going to, they're hoping, they want to wrap this 65 into the 50 next year. That's a $15 million offsuit in general terms here. And remember, the Brock Purdy contract is coming into next year's contract, and they don't have the flexibility. To show you some of the numbers that I think kind of exemplify where it gets worrisome from their standpoint is it becomes the dead money that starts to add up over time. That's the stuff that starts to be kind of an issue. Look here at the bottom spot here with with some of the dead money you've got in the books here. $10.3 million to Eric Armstead, $5.5 to Trey Lance. Deshaun Gibson's on our roster right now, but you know what? The Niners are paying him $1 million. Cameron Latu, former second-round pick. These are some small deals, but it adds up to $24 million of dead money. Let's see where they're at already for 2025 dead money-wise. Well, we're already at $15.5 for Eric Armstead. Latu, Gray, Kingston is at basically another, $700,000 at that point. So $16.5 million in dead money as we stand only right now. So we come back again to that flexibility. You're already starting to bear into the dead money into future years. Again, to just kind of further continue to show this, we look at the Brandon Aiyuk contract. They've lowered the cap contract on it very low through these first couple of years, but you do end up having to pay the price. You keep it down at 5.725 right now, and it does climb up. I'm in 2027 here, where you see there's a $42 million cap hit for Brandon Aiyuk. Now, 49er content creator would tell me, yeah, but that's when they're going to cut him. You're also going to be sitting on at that point on the books of probably having McCaffrey eating dead money with him. You'll be eating probably dead money with Debo by that point. You'll be eating dead money with Trent Williams, who will be retired by this point in 2027. There's no way he's playing at this point. Do they have the means and ability to do that? Can they still remain competitive at that point? We'll see. I remain skeptical is my bottom line point on this. And if you notice on this, look at the void. Do you guys see the void thing going down the line there? Do you guys see the void thing? Take a look at the void thing in 2027. Doesn't that look weird to you? Isn't that a little bit odd? Why wouldn't they have base salary? Why would it say void and they don't have base salary associated with their names on that far left-hand column? Because they're no longer on the roster. Those are voided years, absent the dead money of releasing them. Absent the dead money of releasing him, those are the voided years they're burying on the back end of these deals. They will have to pay the piper. This is not what we call necessarily a healthy way to manage the cap. I give the Broncos credit here because you are, in this case, doing everything you can to maximize your Super Bowl window. But you're doing it in a lot of ways to a pretty extreme degree. And it means when the price does come to be owed, you're going to have to pay it. You look right now, Nick Bosa, highest paid positional rank where he stands. Brandon Aiyuk, top 5. Trent Williams, he was top 3. He is now going to be the highest paid left tackle in the sport. Deebo Samuel, 14th. Javon Hargrave, 11th. Fred Warner, second highest paid inside linebacker in the sport. Christian McCaffrey, the highest paid running back. George Kittle, the third highest paid tight end. Kyle Juszczyk, he's a tight end, but he's still making $5 million. And Brock Purdy is your 79th highest paid quarterback. So where's this going by next year? You're going to pay Purdy $55 million. Can you still afford to do all that? No, you can't. Now you start releasing guys. Now you start hitting into the voidable end of things that I just showed you guys. Now you start running into that void year period, 2025. Is there any void years in 2026? Oh, look, there is. It starts in 25 with Jadarius Ward, who will not probably be on the roster, but still be costing them $4.9 million. Jadarius Ward, again, another $4.9 million in 26. Deebo Samuel, 8.7. George Kittle, Dre Greenlaw, Kyle Juszczyk, Leonard Floyd, Peter Gross-Mastos, Malik Collins. I know many of you are going, well, it just says void. I don't understand. This is where I got to make sure I'm doing a good job of showing you, right? Let's look at the Seahawks situation, shall we? Do you see a difference? Take a look at our 26 situation. Well, we got one void year for $2.5 million on Draymond and 1 year of void for $2.5 million in 27. But all of those other ones are deals. Those aren't void years there. Those are guys that are on the books. No voided years in 2025, by the way. Part of why I've said in 2025, people will try to freak out in 25 and say, we got no cap space. We got no cap space in 25. I go, no, it's about cap flexibility. We've not put ourselves into that same corner that the Niners have had. So you can see that when just look at those voided year contracts, those are guys off the books, no longer playing for your team. You're still paying for them. And you buried all that money, like a guy burying money in the backyard of his house and in the walls of his house. Like, yeah, that's great. It's like, I don't know. Don't be surprised when it's just gone, though. But that's how they've done it. That's how they pulled this Aiyuk off. That's how they continue to pay these folks.